I wouldn't do it to you. So, all right, my friends, I'm on page 39. Page 39. Let's bring it back together, please. Okay. So again, the quiz went really well. Scores were very good. Congratulations. Those of you that need to still take it, let's get it done. Trust me, my friends, some of you owe me tests and quizzes. It would be in your best interest, to have it made up before we go on break. Okay? So I do put in holding scores, which is a dramatically lower score than I know you could earn. Guys, being bad. He's not even looking at me. It's like talking to my wife. But I know some of you owe me stuff, and there's all kinds of reasons why you owe me stuff, and I'm not worried about that. I'm just trying to make it known that if you go on fall break and you still owe me stuff and you come back, I bet you a nickel you're not going to study my stuff over fall break to be caught up on it. I'm just saying. But didn't go all the way out. So anyhow, take care of that if you want to come in and earn half your points back on anything, even on this last quiz. So a person says, well, I got a 19 out of 20. I'm happy with it. Well, come in and get a 19.5 out of 20. That's even better score. So come see me when you want to do that. Page 39. So we're talking about a regression line. Okay. So there's a term that they use for regression line, and it's called the least squares regression line. And that's just a fancy term saying like we know statistics. Okay? But a lot of times what they do, here's the nice thing. Desmos sets this up right. Okay? If we were using the TI-84s, which we are not, I think Desmos does it a lot better. The TI-84 has two different regression equations. They have this and they have this. They're both linear regressions. The slope of the top one is A. The slope of the bottom one is B. The y-intercept of the top one is B. The y-intercept of the bottom one is A. Okay. The nice thing is we don't really have to worry about how TI's doing it, because last time I checked, y'all had cell phones and y'all knew where to find Desmos, which is great. They do have an equation that they like to use. They call it y hat. And we're just going to call it mx plus b. And then the y hat means, the caret means this is predicted. Okay. Now, the prediction on these is great. We went and looked at some line of best fit. The line of best fit is also called the regression line, which is also called the least squares regression line. It is a prediction. It's not exact. Okay? So, I'm pretty sure you all know y equals mx plus b, where m is the slope. It's the change in the vertical direction over the change in the horizontal, the change in x, or the change in y over the change in x, the rise over run. I mean, we've heard a plethora of things. And then we have the y-intercept. Okay, and again, if you see it as y hat, that means this is a predicted value. Okay, pretty easy to solve this on Desmos. Okay, can you do the context with a problem for slope and the y-intercept. Okay, those are kind of there, but we saw last week when we talked about the temperature of a pool. If we did the y-intercept of the pool at 0 degrees, you had negative 544 people or something like that, which sometimes it means silly. Okay. Switch page already. Okay. Now, if you took a look at your data, and let's just put me some. These are my data points. And then here's my line of best fit. Okay. From here to here, if I plug in anything in the red, if I plug in for X or Y to solve for the opposite variable, this is called interpolation. Interpolation. If I go outside here or way outside up here in black, if you plug in for X or Y, it's called extrapolation. Poor kids, can you imagine coming in, it's your first day of school, 9 weeks in. Who knows? All right, so things to note about when you have a linear thing. Don't try, if it looks linear, make the line of best fit. Line of best fit. Okay. If you have if it looks like a curve, don't try and make a curved equation out of it. Okay. There's other things that we can do to get that, but we're not going to take care of that. And this is where our friendly neighborhood news people who do the weather get it wrong. And this is where science gets it wrong. I'm not saying your science teacher is wrong. I'm saying science gets wrong. If you're doing an experiment and you're continuing to get data from that experiment, and then you do the experiment, try to figure out something that would happen outside of your experiment. That's called extrapolation. Extrapolation is not trusted. Okay, so our weather people who always get the weather wrong, they are doing extrapolation. Therefore, they're always seeming to get the weather wrong. I realize, if you're within 1 or 2 degrees of what you predicted, that's fine. But we've certainly had, let's see, I think you guys were in school. Do you remember when they called a snow day the day before and the following day it was totally sunny? You guys remember that? You guys were probably in.
Yeah, because the weather was like, oh, it's going to snow 2 feet. So
yeah, and all of a sudden sunshine, you're like, this is the best snow day ever.
Yep.
Yeah, that was great. Why was that mistake made? Extrapolation. It is not to be trusted. Okay? Now, is there a valid job of being somebody who looks at the weather? Yeah. Okay? If we're going to go on a vacation someplace, I probably wouldn't go on vacation with you because then that makes the news and it's illegal and stuff like that. And it's just, let's face it, it's weird. But if we were to go on a vacation together, and let's say we're going to go to, let's go to Trenton, New Jersey, because that's the place that you should be going. We'd probably want to see what the weather's going to be to know what kind of clothing we should probably pack. Okay? If you're going to be going to the beach in Hawaii or Jamaica or Florida or Mexico, you're probably not going to pack your winter parka. One, you're bright enough to realize, hey, we're going to the beach, therefore I need my bathing suit. And then, but yeah, let's face it, if you go to the beach in New Jersey during the winter, it's just cold. There's not a lot of people on the beach, except for the people walking up and down looking for seashells and trying to sell you those necklaces that everyone needs to have. All right. So we are still using R. R stands for correlation. Agree? R can go between -1 and +1. The closer it is to either one of those two numbers, the better your line is. The closer it is to 0 just means you have just nothing. Okay? A lot of people like to use, once you have a line of best fit, they like to use predictions. It is a lot more safe to make your prediction inside or extrapolating. And again, extrapolation is not trusted. So it's better to make the predictions inside your data. And that's what I got. You guys have questions for me? Is it okay that I don't have a quiz this week? Is there any? No. I mean, am I going to get emails from parents? But I will have a quiz on the Monday we get back from break. Yeah, right. I wouldn't do that to y'all. And hey, friends, I'm a little concerned that some of you say you have teachers that are assigning you work over break. My friends, I'm going to be very honest. Principal Silva has made it very clear to teachers, we are not to assign work over break. That doesn't include makeup work. Okay, if you were out of school and you need makeup work, you have a pretty good opportunity to get things made up. But your teachers are not to assign you anything over break. I mean, I don't want to, I'm not a snitch because I don't like, snitches get stitches. But friends, it's not fair if your teacher's assigning something over break. Okay, Principal Silva sent us teachers a really nice email that break is break. It's well deserved for both teachers and students. Okay, am I looking forward to break? Sure. Will I miss you guys? I will. Okay. But I enjoy the break. I'm going to drive out and go see my daughters at 2 different universities. So that's kind of fun for me. Plus, there's a really good steakhouse in North Platte, Nebraska. Way out is like 20 miles north of the highway. 18-ounce steak, baked potato, salad, and iced tea for $13. Oh, life is good for stirrup. All right. So I think page 143, 144 would be good to work on. So again, I'm sorry I'm letting you all down that I don't have a midterm plan for us over break or before break.
I think you should have been a midterm.